Hey guys, I just thought to myself, I haven't made a Mandela effect video for a while, so I just went on TikTok, got another compilation, uh, uh, compilation of Mandelas. Some of them might be, what do you call it, doubles of what we might have seen before. But that's the thing about the Mandelas, especially when they're not scriptural ones. They do seem to repeat a lot. Some of these might repeat within themselves, but that's only because the people presenting the Mandelas themselves might be doing a compilation themselves, so it might repeat from the one before or a few before that. But I've downloaded them because there might be one in there that I haven't heard of, and there might be Mandela effects in there that I don't entirely agree with, but other people are having these experiences, so that's why they're in there. You know what I mean? What else have I got to say about it? They're not scriptural. They're just normal Mandelas. I just thought I'd do a compilation on them because I haven't done one for a while. And there's no denying these things are happening. Without a doubt, these things are happening, and I think as we observe them, it might as well let people know. Are they important? Sometimes no. And like some of the people in here might have their own perceptions of what the Mandela is. I mean, I don't entirely agree with some of other people's perceptions of what the Mandela is. I believe it's a spiritual thing. Some of these people might think it's sown or different timelines or something like that. I don't ascribe to them kind of things, but I think it's a supernatural thing. But they're there anyway for other people to see, and because they are meant, because the Mandela effects are happening, despite what they think it is, you know. So I've added them anyway. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoy. It's getting harder and harder to find original Mandelas, but listen, it's happening. They'll appear, you know. God bless you guys. Hope you enjoy. Ta-da. So I'm just going to read a little bit about the Mandela effect here. It says, the Mandela effect refers to a situation in which a large mass of people believes that an event occurred when it did not. The term was originated in 2009 by Fiona Broome after she discovered that she, along with a number of others, believed that Nelson Mandela had died in the 1980s when he actually died in 2013. Looking at the origin of the Mandela effect, some famous examples, as well as some potential explanations for this strange confluence of perceptions, can help to shed light on this unique phenomena. Origins of the Mandela effect. The term Mandela effect was first coined in 2009 by Fiona Broome when she created a website to detail her observance of the phenomenon. Broome was at a conference talking with other people about how she remembered the tragedy of former South African President Nelson Mandela's death in South African prison in the 1980s. However, Nelson Mandela did not die in the 1980s in a prison. He passed away in 2013. As Fiona Broome began to talk to other people about her memories, she learned that she was not alone. Others remembered seeing news coverage of his death, as well as speech by his widow. Broome was shocked that such a large mass of people could remember the same identical event in such detail when it never happened. Encouraged by her book publisher, she began her website to discuss what she called the Mandela effect and other incidents like it. So yeah, it's just a quick synopsis of how it is, what the Mandela effect is. But that's just a basic thing, and I think it's something spiritual, you know, something that's not of God, but certainly a supernatural thing, sent to confuse us by the devil. That's what I think anyway. But there was a brief synopsis of it anyway, guys. Bless yous. Ta-da.
I have heard a Mandela effect today that has absolutely blown my mind. If you don't know what the Mandela effect is, basically it's where a whole bunch of people remember something in history happening a certain way, but it's actually not how it happened. It's called the Mandela effect because it's basically came from when Nelson Mandela died. A load of people were confused because they'd all remembered him previously dying in prison, which obviously then didn't happen. So that's why it's called the Mandela effect. And there's loads and loads of examples of this if you look them up, and there's never been one that I've been like clearly, oh yeah, that's true. They've always been a bit like, I'm not 100% sure how I remember that, could go either way, I believe it. Until this one, which has blown my mind. If you're Gen Z, keep scrolling because you are far too young for this, but I'm saying like early 2000s this happened. I mean, I can't look it up because according to records it didn't actually happen, but Walker's crisps, cheese and onion, and salt and vinegar. There was an entire campaign, like I remember the advertising where they were swapping colours. Cheese and onion used to be green, salt and vinegar used to be blue, they swapped colours. It went on for months. I remember going into specific shops, seeing the branding. I remember it happening. It never happened. Like, someone please help me with my sanity here. Somebody has got to confirm with me that this did happen and I'm not like a glitch in the matrix. I've asked people, some people think they remember it, some people aren't sure, some people don't remember it at all. Someone help me out here, please. I am losing my mind.
This is a TikTok very specifically for my followers out there who are British, because I'm utterly convinced that today has been pure Mandela effect. Well, it's either that or I'm completely losing my marbles. So this all started when Sky News sent me a little notification saying that Leslie Phillips had died. I'm convinced he died years ago. And I've spent all day being like, he definitely died. He definitely died like ages ago. So not only am I pottering that all day, this then happens. So Bill Treacher, aka Arthur Fowler in EastEnders, the one who stole all the money from the Christmas Club and had a breakdown, apparently he died today. I would have put a lot of money on the fact that he died years ago. Is this just me? Am I going mad? Or did anybody else think this?
Mandela effect. Tell me if anyone else has experienced this, but it's always been a blue riband, not a blue ribbon. I could have sworn it was a blue ribbon, but no, blue riband since 1936. What?
Okay, y'all, I got another Mandela effect. This time, it's one of the most famous lines in the movie E.T. In this scene, E.T. is dressed up like a girl. They've been teaching E.T. how to talk, and they've been teaching him what certain words mean. And then he says it, E.T. phone home. At least, that's how I remember it, but the Mandela effect is at it again, and that's not what he says anymore.
Phone home.
So now, as you can see, he says E.T. home phone. I always remember him saying E.T. phone home, not E.T. home phone. What's weird too is the kids repeat what he said and they say E.T. phone home. I need you guys to tell me in the comments, what do you remember him saying? E.T. phone home or E.T. home phone? Also, share your favorite Mandela effects in the comments as well. Make sure you like this video, repost it, and follow me for more Mandela effect videos. It's time to wake up. Stay blessed.
Proper blew my mind, this one. So we all know what the speed camera sign looks like. The dreaded speed camera. Right? I always thought that it were based on an old-fashioned Victorian camera from the side. Now, when I show you this again, I feel like I've been conned all my life. But it's actually a speed camera, a modern one, on a mount with two lenses looking at you. I don't know how I feel about this knowledge, I know. This proper blew my mind, this one. So we all know what the speed camera sign looks like.
Hey everyone, Ben here from Edge of Wonder. So I found a new Mandela effect in the Harry Potter books that's really weirding me out. In Deathly Hallows, the book 7 of Harry Potter, when Snape dies and Harry goes into his thoughts and looks in to see what's happening, what do you guys remember during the scene and the first time that Snape sees Harry in the book? Do you remember anything about this specifically? Now, in the movie, we see the scene, and I'm going to play the scene. This is the first time, so this would be the very first movie. So, what I specifically remember reading in the book is that Snape sees Harry for the first time, and you know, Harry's scar hurts. And then he thinks it's because of Snape, and then later you find out it's actually Quill who has Voldemort on the back, and that's why his scar hurts. Now, I specifically remember reading in the book in this scene, because remember, this is the first time that Snape sees Harry grown up, or like growing up, and I remember him thinking to himself, he has her eyes. And I thought it was a very touching scene in the book, but I was very disappointed because it's never in the movie. They show that scene, but they don't show what Snape is actually thinking about. Recently, I was rereading the book. And I read this section so many times because this was my favorite section of all of the books and all of the movies when Harry goes into Snape's thoughts after he dies. Now, this is what it says in the book. Dumbledore turned a page and said, without looking up, "Keep an eye on Quill, won't you?" A whirl of color, and now everything darkened, and Snape and Dumbledore stood a little apart in the entrance hall while the last stragglers from the U-Ball passed them on the way to their bed. There's nothing mentioned about that scene in the book, yet it's in the movie, and I specifically remember Snape thinking to himself, he has her eyes. He has his mother's eyes. Because I was so touching, because you think like, oh, that's actually what Snape is thinking. And he does the movements as he's thinking that, but it's not mentioned in the book anymore. That scene is not even in the book, and I remember this. The only thing that it says right before it, he said, Dumbledore's talking to Snape, and this is right after his parents died, and he said her son lives. He has her eyes, precisely her eyes. You remember the shape and color of Lily Evans' eyes, I'm sure. And then Snape says, don't. Gone, dead. Is this remorse, Severus? And then it goes on from there. That's it. No mention of anything other than the scene in her eyes. And this is really weirding me out. What do you guys remember? Let me know.
Crazy Mandela effects that I can guarantee you have not seen before. These will genuinely blow your mind and make you question everything. Now, unless you want to be absolutely terrified out of your mind, then just keep on scrolling. Honestly, this will keep you up all goddamn night. First up, Disney. Probably everyone remembers this. Yeah, Tinkerbell dotting the I in the intros. I remember this vividly, like I clearly remember this happened. Well, it didn't. And it never did. What? A lot of people swear that they remember a robber emoji, and a hiker emoji which looks similar to this one right here. Now, especially the robber one, I remember that extremely clearly. Like, I used that, I swear. But it never existed, Apple didn't remove it or anything, it just never existed. Now, your parents will no doubtably remember the book and everything, the Bernstein Bears. It was extremely famous, everybody knows it was called the Bernstein Bears, but it's always been called the Bernstein Bears.
I have another scary movie Mandela effect that's probably going to confuse you as much as it confused me. Now, there's a scene in Scary Movie where Shorty is sitting around with a bunch of white dudes and they're smoking. And what I remember him saying is, "I see white people." That's kind of part of the movie. The black folks in the movie make a bunch of white jokes. And this scene it fits the narrative. But I'm about to show you he never says that. What he says is, "I see dead people."
Can I tell you a secret?
Sure, man.
I see dead people.
I even remember the movie cover saying, "I see white people." And now it says, "I see dead people." Let me know in the comments what you remember. Was it "I see dead people" or was it "I see white people"? Make sure you like this video and follow me for more Mandela effects. I'm going to be doing a bunch more in the next little while. It's time to wake up. Stay blessed.
The 11-9-95 at Don Bone Ford of the West Bank.
Here's the newest Mandela effect for February of 2023. So my question to you is, what is the longest river in the United States? I grew up in Illinois, and I was always told in my timeline that the longest river in the United States was the Mississippi River. But But according to this timeline, the longest river in the United States is the Missouri River. So let me know if you think this is a true Mandela effect or if it's always been this way. Make sure to leave a comment and follow for more Mandela effects.
And he has no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're just going to knock on his door and change his life forever. You're like Ed McMahon, except without the big check.
I am convinced that the internet is just making shit up to try to make us look like we're crazy. Mandela effect is not real. They're just deleting history at this point. And don't mind how beautiful my hair is.
Insane Mandela effects that will make you question your entire existence. Trust me, you're gonna want to favorite this video because this is gonna make you change the way you look at life. Let's begin with this. Childhood iconic character Shaggy. Now we all remember him with the obvious Adam's apple protruding from his neck area. Nah, that's not true because apparently he never had one. Next up we have this movie. Now I remember this movie from a couple of years ago, Cowboys vs. Aliens. What a film. Turns out it was never called that. In fact, it's called Cowboys and Aliens. What about your favorite finger glow stick alien, E.T.? What if I told you that the most iconic saying ever, E.T. phone home, never happened? This is actually what he says.
E.T. home phone.
Home phone? What about the infamous childhood story of the three little pigs and the wolf? I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Wrong! I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in.
This is one of the craziest Mandela effects I've ever seen.
Hey, so I believe in Mandela effects. I think they're 100% real, 100%. I've never had one happen to me overnight where it completely changed my reality. Okay? Like a kid from the 90s or the early 2000s, I was into Pokemon. Okay? There's this rock-type Pokemon, kind of looks like a snake. His name's Onyx. Alright? My whole life, memory, everything. His name is spelled O-N-Y-X. Always been that. I watched a compilation video last night that said his name is spelled O-N-I-X. I said, that's bullshit. I messaged my friends, okay, who also played Pokemon, who know their shit. So I said, guys, remember that snake-type Pokemon that was made of rocks? I didn't want to spell his name, I wanted them to spell it. They said, yeah, it's Onyx. They all answered me back the same spelling, O-N-Y-X. I go, apparently we're all wrong. So we all started going down the rabbit hole, okay? I have one of those Game Boys that has a bunch of games already preloaded onto it. I've been playing Pokemon Blue to pass time. I captured an Onyx. When I captured it, it said O-N-Y-X. So I said, you know what? I'm going to prove this Mandela effect wrong right now. I'm 100% confident. I boot up the game. I go inside. I go through my Pokemon. It says O-N-I-X. Literally blew my... I stared at the screen for 15 minutes in disbelief. Me, all my friends cannot explain it. Some of you are watching this video like, dude, I've always known it's spelled O-N-I-X. Dude, no, it wasn't, though. It wasn't. So, I don't know what happened, but if this has happened to you and you thought it was spelled O-N-Y-X, please let me know.
By the way, this video is scripted and for entertainment purposes only. Stay weird.
Found a new Mandela effect. This time, it's about the Air Jordan logo. Now, if you're like me, something about this logo seems off. I remember the Air Jordan logo. Jordan is wearing shorts, but as you can see, Jordan's wearing pants.
I always remember the Air Jordan logo being designed off of this iconic image, where Jordan is very clearly wearing shorts. And I remember seeing the silhouette of the shorts in the logo. But apparently, the logo was designed from this promotional image for the Air Jordan 1s, where you can very clearly see that he's wearing pants. So I need you to let me know in the comments, what is it that you remember? Do you remember it like me, where the Air Jordan logo, Michael Jordan is wearing shorts? Or do you remember him always wearing pants in the Air Jordan logo? Make sure you like this video and follow me for more Mandela effects. I talk about them as I find them.
There you go. That's another compilation for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed them. I'll keep looking out for more. Not intentionally, like you just tend to come across them sometimes. Certainly keep my eye open for scriptural ones because they're important to us. They're important to us in our faith and that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, guys. I'll give you a shout when I'm doing the next one. But until then, I hope you enjoy my lives and stuff like that. It's always a pleasure to spend time using the live, guys. Always a pleasure. So as usual, bless you guys. Here the sun sets free. It's free indeed. Yo.